You know, Bob, the VA offers 100% financing for purchases of an owner-occupied home, and you can do that on a multifamily home. So you could have additional tenants in the property paying rent, and that money can go towards paying most of, if not all of your mortgage payment.
And you know what, Rick? Let's talk about that.
Hello and welcome to this episode of What's Their MO. I'm Rick Masnick.
And I'm Bob Orlando. And today we want to talk about the opportunity for veterans to purchase a multifamily home with no down payment.
Yeah, last week we talked about the same thing on a FHA loan, which requires a down payment of 3.5% of the sales price. But this week we wanted to talk about VA mortgages and the guidelines for obtaining the same thing with that mortgage product.
Yeah. Now, as we stated, the VA mortgage does not require a down payment, unlike the FHA. But where they do have things in common is that you can use them both to purchase for an owner-occupied, say 1, 2, 3, or even 4-family home. And is with the VA, again, it has to be owner-occupied, so you're the veteran who will be required to live there.
Yeah. And just like the FHA loan, we're going to take 75% of those rents and add them to your gross income to help you qualify for the home. Because let's face it, if it's a more units, it's a larger property, it's more expensive property, but you've got those additional rents to help you qualify for the mortgage.
Yeah, that's right. And again, like the FHA, when purchasing a multifamily home, we're gonna look for reserves so that you get some funds in the bank afterwards. It's a little bit different with the VA though. With the VA, if you have to use your rental income for qualifying purposes, then the VA is going to require us to have 6 months worth of mortgage payments in the bank, so that after closing you've got some reserves. But the other part that a lot of people forget about is if you're not using rental income to qualify, you can qualify just on your own income. Then if the VA is not going to require any reserves. So it's a good thing to know as far as when purchasing a new home.
Okay, and like we said last week, the lender's not going to take or hold on to those funds. They just want to see that after you've made your down payment, paid your closing costs, you've got those reserves in the bank. So if you have a tenant that moves out unexpectedly, you've got the funds to continue to make the mortgage payment and then clean up that vacant unit while you look for a new tenant.
Right. And we can't stress enough, as we did last week, is that both of these programs, the FHA and the VA, are strictly for owner-occupied properties, so the borrower needs to live there. But so if you're looking for, say, a property for investment purposes, we're going to be renting all the units out. That's going to be a completely different program for us to take a look at.
It's important to note that, if you're going to live in it and you've got those tenants in there, I've had people that called it investment, but if you're living in it, it's an owner-occupied property and you're collecting rents.
Correct.
All right. So if you found this information useful, please like, share, and subscribe to our channel. If you know somebody else that this information could benefit, please pass this video along to them. But for now, that concludes this episode of What's Their MO. I'm Rick Masnick.
And I'm Bob Orlando. We'll see you next time.